Oh, I've got a lead. Bag, yeah. How are you? Here to drop this off the lead.
Hi, my name is Burke and I'm from Jim's Laundry Services National Office. Today, we'll be going out on the road with a few of our franchisees to see what their experiences are like. The first franchisee we'll be following around today is Zach. Zach, do you mind coming through?
Yeah, no worries. G'day.
Do you mind introducing yourself, please, for us today?
My name's Zach Karlaftis. I look after the territory of Pascoe Central, close to the headquarters for Jim's Laundry, and let's go do this and have some fun today. If I stalled the car a few times, don't laugh at me.
So how long have you been with Jim's?
I've been with Jim since June last year. It's definitely interesting being in the laundry world because it's a new division as well.
Yeah, of course.
So it was a lot to take on at the start, you know what I mean, and get used to.
Yeah.
But it's good. I came from like a telco industry. So I was working in an office for 24 years. So for myself, it was pretty much, I needed a bit of a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
And something where I can actually like today as an example, I've got to go pick up my daughter at 3:30.
Okay.
Or 3 o'clock. You've got to get the time right, otherwise that'll be a problem. So for me, it was like, well, I need a bit of a change, bit of flexibility,
Yeah.
which normally, you had that within, working at some jobs and everything else. But, if they wanted me to fly to Sydney as an example, I would have to get up and go to Sydney for 2-3 days, every month. Sometimes it was a bit hard. Like you didn't want to go to Sydney.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of been a guy that's like, I want to try something new, something different. I've got another business as well, which isn't Jim's, that I always had as a bit of a side little gig.
Yeah.
And then I decided that when the time came, can I do everything? And I was like, no, well, I wanted to do something different because I also have my mum helping me. She does all the ironing for me.
Oh, okay.
They provide ironing as well. So that's how it all came about. She wanted me to, she was like, have you ever got any work for some laundry or something or ironing? I was like, I've got an idea. How about we look at some laundry stuff? Yeah. I'll get involved in the laundry and you can do all the side of the ironing, and occasionally when I need some help, she comes and helps me as well. Yeah. This is my barber, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So this is my barber.
Yeah.
And he was one of my first commercial clients. When I told him I was going to do this, he was just like, no worries, I'll support you, and we support each other. So I come to him for haircuts, and he gives me his towels that need to occur and get washed. So. How are you? Good. I'm here to pick up the towels. Thank you. Oh, beautiful. You've got the bag ready for me. I'll leave you another bag. Okay. That's it. Just one bag, yeah? Just one bag. Done. All right, buddy. I'll take care of it, right? Thank you. This is a bag just so we can identify whose laundry is whose. And what I usually do is I just put a tag on it. So if they've got 2 or 3, I've got stickers that I can put on as well. And I just tag it so that way when I'm actually doing the laundry, I know whose stuff it is so I can return it correctly. Yeah, well, I live in the area. I've been in the area for 40 plus years. I literally grew up in the street down the road, and the first house I lived in was actually on the main road down here. So I've pretty much been here for 40 plus years. I'm actually 21 years. I'm really young. So the story with the barber that I've got here, he's my barber as well. And when I told him I was going to get involved in laundry and so forth, and I said, look, if you ever need someone to come and do your towels, whatever it may be, I'm here to help you. And he's like, no worries. So he supports me, I support him, and that's how it is, right? I'm part of the local community, and therefore we support each other. So as I said, I grew up in the area. I drink my coffee from the same shop pretty much every day. and that's it. Main reason was I was saying earlier that for flexibility is one. Also, it's probably one of the main things actually, but also getting a brand behind me that can actually support me. I don't have to worry about where am I going to get my next lead from. It's all done, part of the marketing, right? As a business owner, you got to worry about doing the job, doing your admin work, doing socials, doing marketing, trying to, as I said, lead generation. By the time you get home for the day, you pretty much put on about 17 hats just to get your job done. But with gyms, what I found was that I could just go there, turn on my leads, then all of a sudden the leads start coming in. And honestly, I've probably built 80% of my business based off the leads, and I'm happy with that. Like, there's only a certain amount of leads that I need and a certain amount of income that I need to come in per month to pay for it, or, you know, between your fees and your expenses that you've got. And I'm happy with that because this is not the only thing that I do. And I've got another project that I have as well that I work on constantly. I've decided I split up the two. And after being, you know, in telco for 24 years and working in an office, it was a perfect move for me. I'm out and about every day. You know, some people are like, oh, do you enjoy what you do? I absolutely love what I do now because I can actually get in my car, this is called Tuk Tuk. This is the nickname of the van, and I just get in my car and I do what I want. Grab my coffee, stop at my local coffee shop, work on my schedule. And some days what I do is I book up 2 or 3 days fully, and that means it's my laundry days, and the other days it leaves me free to do other stuff that I like doing. I work my own hours, which is good. You know, I don't work Saturday and Sunday. That's just something I just don't do. But for the laundry, as I said, it can be 5 days a week, it can be 3 days a week, it can be 2 days a week. It depends on how I feel for the week or how much is going on and how much we need to push. But I've scheduled things in to be able to allow me to do other things in my life, so that way I've got that flexibility where, you know, working for someone else, as an example, in an office, if they needed me to fly to Sydney, I would have to pack up, fly to Sydney, no questions asked, and I had to do what I needed to do. But this way, no one tells me what to do. I pretty much do my own thing.
And how has the support been from your regional franchisors? Well, how have you found that?
Absolutely terrible. No, I'm just joking. No, it's been great. If I need them, I jump on the phone and they're available for me. Sometimes I call them back, they call me back, and I don't call them back because it's like, well, it wasn't really important what I needed to ask. It can always wait next time I see them. I found I get regular phone calls to see how things are going. Is there anything I need? If I need products, if I'm running short on something, if I need advice, they're always there to help me out. So I have to admit that gyms has been really good. The franchisor has been fantastic, you know, and I'm happy with the system and the way it is. Everyone, this is Jacopo from Broski Barber Studio.
Hello guys, nice to meet you.
He's my barber, so if I'm looking sharp today, it's because of him, but I need to still book in for a haircut. As I was saying earlier, I'm local to the community here. I live around the corner. When he first opened up his shop, I was kind of looking through the window to see what was going on. Found that he opened, and I came here and I haven't left. And this is Jacopo.
Hello guys, nice to meet you. I'm the owner of Broski Barber Studio. I know Zach now over a year. He's a great businessman, hard worker man, and he's very good to support the local business. We support each other. He support me from day one, so I try to do the same with him. As a part of community, Pascavel community, it's good to have people that support each other. And I know that he's gonna smash this business. And he honestly offer incredible service to the community, because as many people know, as a small business owner, you try to maximize your time. So the fact that he can pick it up, everything from you, you can do the job, you can drop it off, is definitely a beautiful service he offers. So I'm very happy with the service that he provides.
Appreciate that, man.
No, anytime. It's good. It's
So
true.
how long have you been servicing Jacopo for, like, business Broski?
Pretty much from when I started. I started in June, July last year.
Yeah, something like that.
Around there. He was actually one of my first clients. You know, when I told him I was going to go ahead and start this laundry business, and I told him what I was doing, he's like, he goes, when you're ready, come and see me. And he goes, you can start washing all my towels and everything else, because I think he was over it.
Yeah, exactly right.
He already does enough as it is, and so he kind of freed up a bit of his time, and I've taken that part over for him, so that way he can actually do what he does, which is give people great, you know, haircuts and make them looking really sharp. and then I can go away and get everything sorted for him on the back end, so he doesn't have to worry about it. We pretty much go fortnightly.
Yeah, fortnightly.
Depending on, as it gets busier, it will move to a weekly.
Yeah.
What we do is when we first came out, I'll provide him with a bag, a stand, the whole lot.
Yeah.
That way it's easy for him. He throws all his stuff in it, and then I come pick it up every fortnight.
Exactly.
Pick it up, get it all washed up, and then just return it to him.
It's actually very beautiful, the fact that sometimes if I need it a little bit before than the fortnightly, I can just be in contact with him straight away, say, yeah, I can come and, bring it or take the stuff this day at this time, and always on time, always perfect. So it's beautiful.
Yeah. My next step now, I've got to go to a different location to drop off the other bag that's not sitting on the other side and the ironing. And then from there, once I finish that, because my run today, the way I do things is I have certain days where I'm a lot busier than others, just for the flexibility for my lifestyle. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go drop everything off and then head to the laundromat, get the towels that we just picked up today, get them all washed up, get them ready for broski, and then come back and drop them off to him. Oh, I've got a lead. How long ago was it? 6 minutes. I better make a phone call. I'd like to give him a call within 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Hello Ryan, it's Zach calling from Jim's Laundry Services. How are you? I'm well, thank you, I'm well. So I just have a message to give you a call in relation to your laundry. When do you actually need this done? Okay. And what is it exactly that you need to wash? Is it bedding or is it clothing or? Okay. Is there any ironing as well that you need done? Okay, tomorrow, what day is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday, and usually we can drop it off back on Monday. Would that be okay? Okay, fantastic. So what I'll do later on, once I get off this call, I'll send you a text message just to confirm. I'll take a look at my schedule later on today, and then what I'll do is I'll send you a text message and just let you know when we can be out there to pick it up. Now, I'm guessing you've been on the website and just seen all the pricing and everything else? Okay, fantastic. All right, so what I'll do is I'll send you a message just to confirm everything later, give you a time, and then if you just confirm, then we can go ahead and organise it. Done. All right, thank you very much, Ryan, for your time. Okay, bye. So the client actually lives at an apartment block?
Yeah.
Well, it's an apartment, sorry. So I usually pick him up. So I picked him up yesterday morning. I have a schedule I pick up on, and then what I usually do when I return the clothes, I just leave it at reception for him because that's how we've worked it out. So he doesn't actually have to be there.
Yeah.
So I usually go in there, take his ironing, I take his laundry, and then leave it with the reception, and then the reception will hand it off to him. I just let him know that the ironing and laundry's there. He was actually one of my first leads, believe it or not, when he came through, and ever since June, and he stayed with us ever since. So he's been loyal. He's been happy with our service. And so we always make sure we look after him. He was originally in the city, and then he actually moved to this next location, and he actually asked me, he said, can you continue doing the service because I'm moving? And I'm like, I looked at it was within 5 Ks of where I was, so I continued the service with him. And it's been like that every week. Every week, I don't even send him a reminder text message. He kind of just knows that I'm turning up. I usually just send him a text message once I've dropped everything off, so he knows there's at the front desk.
Like weekly client, every week.
It's a weekly client. Every Wednesday pickup and every Thursday. Doesn't matter what time I drop it off, so I usually put it into my schedule of what I've got on for the day. And then what I'll do is I'll go and I'll drop it off to him.
How many watches do you normally, like a day?
It varies. It varies on the clients, right? So because we have different clients. So some clients you might come in, you might get a bag, and it might have 3 loads worth. And if you've got 2 clients a day, you end up with 6 or 7 a day. But I've also got, then you end up with your once-off clients. Sometimes we've had up to about 10 loads in one wash for a client. What usually might have happened is they've gone in there, they've either moved or something's occurred, or they've gone away and they're like, you know what, I need to get all my clothes washed, and that occurs. We've also had clients that have bought a new home, all right? So they bought all this brand new bedding, everything, the whole lot, and they've looked at the loads and they're like, we can't do all this. So what they've done is they've outsourced it, right? They outsourced it to us. So they contacted us. The lead came through gyms. I picked it up, went out there, got it all washed for them, got it all folded, the whole lot. Had some ironing stuff that needed to occur, which I got organised. And then what I did is I went and dropped it off, and then they were able to move into the new home with new fresh laundry about it. So with my business, I while I have domestic clients, I've got commercial clients as well, but I also offer like a tea towel hire service for cafes and restaurants.
Okay.
So that is part of an extra service that I've added onto gyms. Now, when I first took that on, I was like, oh, hang on, let me just check everything, make sure my insurance covers it, and it's all covered. So what we do is we actually provide the tea towels to them, the polishing cloths, microfibers, and that's another part of my business. Now, it's not for everyone, but it works for me and my business, and so that way I have a bit of a variety, because I like having a variety in my life.
Yep.
Look, sometimes it's, it can be a little bit busy when you've got a lot of things happening at once, between organising pickups and then washing and then looking at timing and so forth. So that's why I like to schedule whatever I can.
Yeah.
And as you probably might have, early on I had a lead before that came through. I don't do any drop-offs on Saturday and Sundays unless it's really urgent. What we like to do is I like to pick up on a Friday and we return on a Monday. It's about that work-life balance as well, right?
Sure.
Otherwise,
You've also mentioned that to the client, so if they're fine with that.
correct. So I ask them and they're okay with it.
Yeah.
And then and then after that, I just, as I said, I pick up, I drop off. As long as they're happy and they've got the approval, we're good.
Yeah.
So before, when I had that call, later on when we stop again, I'll be looking at my schedule. I'll drop him a text message just to remind him that about our conversation and so forth, and let him know what time I can actually pop in there and pick it up from them.
Oh, that's...
Jim's antennas. Occasionally when I see a Jim's van or something, I'll kind of give them away for a toot.
Yeah.
But Jim's antennas, you see them everywhere. That's what I'm saying. You see Jim's vans everywhere.
So how do you know about Jim's laundry? What Jim's or someone came up to you?
So Jim's Laundry, I found it when I was driving on the freeway.
Okay.
So I was driving on the freeway, heading to the airport on one of my mornings that I needed to fly off to Sydney for work. And I looked to my right, and what I see? Jim's Laundry Services. I'm like, what? What is this?
Is it?
It was a massive billboard.
Oh, billboard.
It was a massive billboard, and that's how I found it. And I was like, really? They got into laundry? I'm like, let me look into this a little bit further. I've always had this fascination with laundromats for some reason. Everyone's like, what do you mean? I'm like, one day I'm going to own a laundromat. That's my next goal. And I thought, instead of having a massive investment in getting involved in it, by having seen the Jim's Laundry sign, and I was like, oh, maybe I can do this remotely. This can be something that... So I started looking into it a little bit further, found the Jim's brand, found that they had a laundromat, made an inquiry with Bill, and then started the conversations with him. Hit it at the start, kind of let it go for a bit, and I was like, oh, maybe is this something I can do on my own? Looked into that, and I was like, have I really got the time and the marketing and to go away and actually rebuild a brand new brand? Or can I go with a bigger brand that can actually support me and take care of it? So that's what I did. And that's how I ended up at Jim's Laundry. Or if we get into an apartment block that's near my area, I'll grab some of my brochures and I just put them all in letterboxes.
Yeah, so for apartment, how do you manage? Because for household, you can just go up to the door and pick up it.
Correct.
Or, yeah.
So for apartment blocks, what I usually do is I set an appointment time.
Yeah.
I usually give a rough time between, like, an example, 8 to 9 or 8 to 8:30. I don't like to be late, so if I am running late or something for some reason, or if there's traffic or whatever it may be, I make sure I message to let them know. But I usually set a time with them, and then what we do based off the time, I'll turn up. They'll either bring the items down to me, and I'll pick it up and then take it away. But for this client that I have now, what we do is, as I was probably saying earlier, that on one day I pick it up, like today, and then right now I'll drop it off at reception. And the main reception just accepts the clothing for me, and they put it away, and then they let the client know. That's how I do it. But for a lot of the clients, But this is just this one because I've been going every week, right? But if it's a one-off or whatever it may be, I just set a time with them. Sometimes it could be in the afternoon, sometimes they're at work, and then...
People like me, I
Yep.
work 9 to 5, and
Yep.
I live in an apartment because I hate to depend on you.
Yeah, okay. Well, here's my card. If you want, you can call me.
Yeah, alright. If you don't mind, come to the box Hill.
I'll come to Box Hill if you need me to.
Yeah, so
I'll be there.
you'll be there.
I'm an early starter, so for me, sometimes I do pickups and drop-offs at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
I like to get up and get out and about. Like I usually get up at about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Great.
That's my routine. Get up in the morning, go to the gym, even though I've been a bit slack lately. Go to the gym, have some breakfast. I like to set my day before I head out. I'll jump in my car, it's quiet on the street. I'll go do all my pickups,
Yeah.
and then I'll go back and then get everything organised and washed up.
So you normally start very early.
I start early. From 7 o'clock and onwards, I start doing my pickups.
Okay.
With
What
my...
time you finish then? Like,
It depends on the day. Depends on when I need to return everything.
okay.
Sometimes if I don't have to get everything back the next day, because that's what I've organised with the client, or like some of my commercial stuff, where I'll supply details, I don't have to get that back for a week. So, but that's a different process altogether, where you have to soak things and everything else. It's not just a standard laundromat kind of situation.
Yeah.
So certain things I do at laundromats, and certain things because of like the tea towels and everything else, because they need to be soaked.
Yeah.
I can't really leave them at a laundromat, so they all get soaked because from the food and everything else, and I let that kind of sit overnight.
Yeah.
With the products that we use, I use a lot of the Jim's products that we've got.
Okay.
So the brand that I started first using, so they're called Dominant. And we found that they're commercial products. I think they've been around for over 25 years or like that, and I use all their products.
Yeah.
And what I do is I use that. And believe it or not, I rang them up once because when I started looking at the teeth, I was like, I can't get some of these stains out. And they were really helpful. They were able to help me out with the process on what needed to occur, what product I should try.
Yeah.
And so I kind of buy everything in bulk with them,
Yeah.
and I use their products. So, but going back onto my day, sometimes it starts early in the morning,
Yeah.
and then stuff gets done during the day. Then it gives me a bit of free time. I can go home. I can do some admin work, or I can go do my other job that I've got as well. My other project that I work on, my other business that I work on. And what I do is, depending on the client, I might drop something off at 5 o'clock.
Oh, sure.
I've got something that's around the corner from my house, so I just drop it off at 5 when they're home. I like to drop it off closer to when they're home, so that way I know it's not sitting outside all day.
Right.
So that's how I kind of do it.
What
Well-
about, like, is there a lot of this kind of thing?
There is. Oh, there are other businesses out there.
Yeah.
Before, well, I was saying, so with Jim's Laundry, there was another business. I'm not going to mention the names because I don't want to give them any more promotion. Let's just put it on.
Similar kinds of
Very similar.
Yeah.
And I made an inquiry with them because I wanted to see, right?
Are they franchisee?
They are franchisee, yes, they are. They were on Shark Tank, if they'll give you a hint. But the big difference between them and us, because, well, I am Jim's Laundry now, is they wanted 20% of your profit,
Yeah.
where Jim's model doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You pay a flat fee, right? And I watch all the videos that I've watched. Everyone asks the same question.
Yeah.
Oh, they take all your money. No, they do not take all your money. They with like any business, there's a CPI increase on everything, on every year. You pay for what leads you get. If you turn your leads off, you don't pay for your leads. You pay your flat fee every month, a set fee. If I'm making $100,000 a year, or I'm making $350,000 a year, my fees are exactly the same every single month. With the fact that the only difference is if depending on how many leads I take, the less leads I get, the less it gets added onto my monthly fee. The more leads I end up taking, which means two things: you're either getting a lot more leads, therefore you're getting a lot more business, and you only pay for the lead once. You don't pay for it 2 or 3 times, and they don't take anything else from it. It's that simple. And that's what was one of the appealing things that came to me. I was like, well, if I'm going to work and I'm going to make, as I said, $100,000 a year. I'm just using that as a number. Why should I give 20% away to someone else? And if I make 200,000, I'm going to end up giving another 20%, so that's $40,000 a year, when I can just pay one set fee per year that I'm happy with, which is comfortable. And I think it works out to roughly about maybe 6%, 6-8%, depending on, you know, on what you're doing for the year. Say on 100,000, compared to paying a lot more. I'm not going to give my hard-earned money away to another brand. Yes, sure, okay, the fee might be a little bit less, but also you have to use their products on all of their stuff.
Oh,
so you're buying, from what I remember, you buy their products and everything else. Gyms doesn't force you to use their products.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've chosen to use this because it's a recommended partner, and I've tried the products out and I'm happy with it. But I can go source my own. No one has told me what I can and can't do, and that's what I enjoy the most about it. Partnering up with someone that has a brand recognition and doing it out on your own as an independent is completely different. Independent, it's really hard because you're working for it. You're going to become a brand, you're becoming loyal, you've got to work on your socials. Where with gyms, they're doing all the back end for you. Like, look at us right now. You've got a team that's coming out and doing a day in the life where I would have to go do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now it works for me, where I can use these snippets from my own profile page later on down the track, and then it pushes the laundry. And the more vans we have on the road, the more our business expands, and therefore it becomes recognition.
Like money-wise, is it good enough to be a full-time job, or if you just want to as a side business?
I think it's a good side business.
Yeah.
Depending on what lifestyle you want to live, right, and how much you want to put into it. Now, I've chosen to put in the many hours that I have because I have other things that I do as well. But if someone dedicated themselves, I think, 5 to 6 days a week, and all they focused in on was an all-in on laundry with the support of Jim's brand behind you, I think you can make a good full-time wage out of it. It's more than enough to be able to do it. But then again, if you also want to make it to be a part-time thing, which I am running as a part-time because of the amount of hours and everything else, there's also good money in it as well, I think personally. You know, take out your fees, take out your expenses. Once you work out that balance, you can actually get it up and running. But like any business, right? Any business is hard. If you don't put the effort in, you're not going to get the return.
Right.
And that's how I look at it. Yeah, it's one of those kind of businesses. It's like whatever you put in, you can get out. If you put in 100% dedicating nothing else, and always be open to not just going, I'm only going to focus in on domestic, but like for myself, as I said, I've got domestic, I've got, you know, stores that have got their own linen that I go away and wash, and even recently gyms looked at dry cleaning as well
really?
as a service. Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We're in South Melbourne to drop off now. I've got to drop off some shirts and some laundry that we've done for our client. This is a client that we have on a regular basis, and we've got a system in place that I just take it straight to their front reception area and just leave it with the concierge. Good morning. How are you? Here to drop this off for Lee. Thanks, mate. Thank you. Do you need his number? 2605. Yeah, thank you. I'll just drop him a text message too. Thanks a lot. So I've literally just dropped off the laundry. I've spoken to the concierge and they're going to advise the client. But what I also do as well is I also drop him a text message from myself, letting him know that I've dropped it off and it's at the reception ready for him. We're currently at the laundromat where we're going to do some washing of the towels that we picked up earlier from our barber. So follow me as we go in and take care of it.
So we're here today at one of the laundromats that have partnered up with us. Sean, who's one of our franchisees in Brunswick East. He was an independent laundromat owner prior to joining Gyms, and he decided to join Gyms Laundry Services to become a franchisee. And at least this way, it was a form of lead generation for his business. So if you're an independent laundromat owner and you're interested in bringing in some clientele into your business, joining gyms is definitely an opportunity for yourself. Not only that, we've got local franchisees in the area who use your services like Zach.
Correct.
So it really does work well for individuals who already have the facilities, because we partner up with them by giving them the brand name. So Zach, how do you find using Sean's Laundromat in terms of the work that you do?
Oh, it's great. You know what I mean? Like, you're supporting a local business. You're supporting another franchisee that has an actual laundromat, which that you can bring your work into. It's trusted. They get to know you.
Yeah.
But it's also laundromats you can use around your own area. If you can partner up with one of them and talk to them, it's a very good cash injection for them as well, because it's a win-win. You don't have to go out there and buy all your equipment. You know, you've got an environment where it's purposely built just for laundry. You can come in here. There's a whole, you know, as you'll see in Sean's laundry here, there's a whole set out. You know, the table is for your folding area. You've got your dryers. You've got your washers. And I personally think it's a great opportunity for anyone that wants to get into the business to either talk to someone like Sean who's in the area that can partner up with a franchisee and do all your washing there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just by looking inside, which we're going to do in a moment, you'll be able to see the facility itself. It's really one of the best laundromats I've seen in around this area. So come follow us on, and we'll show you what inside this laundromat looks like.
And a lot of times the reason I'm doing this is just in case there's anything in it, like a blade or something you just don't know about. We do the same with clothing. You know, we check the pockets for, you know, lighters. How many times we found a lighter or a credit card or just little stuff that probably shouldn't be in it. So so this is my process. So this is why I'm separating everything. If it was clothing, we would separate everything into lights, darks, and colours, and then take it from there. If it's bedding and sheets and everything else, we separate it again. So that's how we do all our loads. The next thing I'll do, I like to, when I open the machines, I like to spin them and just check that nothing has been stuck from, sometimes you get items that get stuck on the top or the bottom from washing because of the spin. So I always check everything before I put everything in. Or I also check for screws or blades or anything that might actually affect the clothing or any of the stuff that we're using. The last thing you want to do is damage someone's items because you haven't done how long did that take? A 35-second check. So that's why I do it this way. Continue to throw everything in. The next thing I'll be doing after this is setting the machine, which I'll show everyone, and what I do to a setting to be washed. Now with these machines here, you don't want to be filling them all the way, because if you don't, there won't be enough agitation for the items to actually be clean, because if you overpack them to say to the top, it's not going to have any room to move around. So I always kind of get to at least halfway to 3/4 to at least about there, because then we'll end up having a good wash. Okay. This stuff's pretty strong. Hey Sean, how you going? This stuff's pretty strong, so you don't need to overdo it. So what I'll do now is I'll be adding it in. Next thing to do is actually pay for it. Alright, the laundry has been done. Now we're going to take it out and put it into the dryer. Always remember to spin, because they can get stuck on the side and on the top. You just want to make sure you're never leaving any customers or clients' garments or items like towels. So if you take a look in here, I can show you a quick look. See how that's stuck up there? See how that's stuck? And that's the problem, right? Because if you leave that in there and you're at a laundromat or whatever it may be, the next person's going to take your washing home and you're going to lose some items for your client and not going to be happy with you. You're going to make sure you do the last spin, do the last check, close it off, and away you go. Again, always check the machines before you put everything in. Again, because it could be blades, it could be from the last person, you don't want to damage anything. And you'll see with the spinning, they can come out pretty dry as it is, but this is just going to really nicely. Remember, as we said with the actual washing as well, and in the dryer, you don't want to overload it because it needs space and heat to be able to dry your garments quickly and efficiently. Now we're going to move that to medium temperature. I like to do low, but it's just me. It takes a little bit longer, but we can check that as we go along. All right, they're all dry now. Now it's time to take them out and get them folded up for our clients. Alright, so as you notice, I took the towels to the van. Tomorrow I'll be dropping it off at the agreed time that we normally have. 24 hours is what we've agreed on, and I have one happy client. Thanks.